in my mind, I'm thinking as a major that, again, I had no idea what this unit was going to be composed of, what they were going to do for a mission. I knew nothing about it. But I was flying out to Walter Reed to visit a soldier that had lost part of his leg in Iraq. And I was flying out with the Deputy Adjutant General for the state of Wisconsin at the time, Kerry Denson. He was a 1-star. And I approached him as we're getting ready to board our Lear jet to fly out to see this soldier. And I went up to General Denson. I said, "Sir, I hear Echo Troop 105th Cav is deploying. Do you know if they would need a major?" And I remember his words vividly, quote unquote. He turned to me, he goes, "Do you want to be the commander?" And it just took me back, because in my mind, I was expecting to go as like a staff position. And when he turned to me and said, "Do you want to be the commander?" I was just like, I can remember I said yes, but I was so fearful. I didn't know what I had just gotten into. It just caught me off guard. And it was just like, oh my God, what did I get myself into? And then we went to Walter Reed, and then that night I had to come home and tell Jill and the boys eventually that I was going to Iraq.
How long after 9/11 was that?
That was 2006 when I volunteered, and then my unit left for Iraq in 2007.
Okay,
yeah.
So a number of years.
Yeah.
I always look back and think about how, and people still talk about it on 9/12.
Yeah.
How united we were as a country.
I wish we'd get back to that.
Yeah. And at the same point, we've had different commander-in-chief changes. That happens, every 4 or 8 years. Yep. We've had a lot more information come out about 9/11, the official story that a lot of us don't believe, including myself.
Me too.
But at the same point, you have orders.
Yeah.
And you have orders to follow with that chain of command.
Yeah.
And so what's it like taking young men and women overseas, and when you're in a leadership position, you're not on the battlefield with them. Mm-hmm. What's it like commanding a unit that they know, and that there's a risk of them not coming home or not coming home in one piece?
Yeah, that's a great question. So once I got to know what my unit would be doing and where we were going, I found out that we would be comprised of 187 men only. So I was taking men. But what made our unit so unique is that Echo Troop 105th Cav, based out of Antigo and Merrill, all of those soldiers had been taken by the 32nd Brigade and had just deployed. So when Echo Troop got tasked, the Department of Defense didn't know that these soldiers had just deployed. So Echo Troop gets tasked. I volunteer as the commander. Next thing I find out is I have to have volunteers from all over the state of Wisconsin make up this unit of 187 soldiers. So we literally did not know each other. Most National Guard units, the soldiers have been together for years. They're like family. They're bonded together. They've gone to drills for years, and they know each other. So I literally had a Muta 5, which is a Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday drill in April and May. So I had seen my guys for 5 days before we went downrange to Camp Shelby to train up. So we had to do the storming, forming, and norming and performing very quickly. And out of the 187 guys, I eventually took 173 to Iraq. And where I was blessed is that I really felt that I would be getting the bottom of the barrel as far as soldiers, because a lot of units had already deployed. I couldn't have been more wrong. The guys that stepped up were absolutely phenomenal at not only taking care of themselves, but taking care of the soldiers. And I think what really made that is, these are all Midwestern people, dual jobs. Not only are they soldiers, but they're farmers, teachers, maybe they were a librarian, maybe they owned a business, whatever. And these guys really stepped up. I was able to pick a small handful. I picked my executive officer and my sergeant major that went with me, and they were phenomenal. So I look at our success, and because we were such a unique unit and higher risk because we didn't know each other, but I look at our success because of the non-commissioned officers that I had working with me. And then my executive officer, Bill Barthen, and my sergeant major were just top notch. And I've always felt it is so important to surround myself with good people. I worked with a number of leaders that I think are a little intimidated if there's somebody around them that is as smart or smarter than them. And I've never felt that way.
This is Sparta!